Fakes left, now taken off. Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10, the 5! Oh, the play of the year! In the NFL. Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo.
Go ahead, jump through a table. That's what all the cool kids are doing these days. And they're also checking out the Mafia Minute. So we'd like to welcome all of y'all cool cats to the show and our little victory party here. We do have the bye week coming up, so it's the one time you're allowed to celebrate for more than the about 10 minutes or so after the game. You have a whole week of feeling good, and what a way to go into the bye. I am Magnum Mills here with Jamie G, and we are going to be breaking down the Bills' victory over the Chiefs on Sunday in Week 11. Thank you very much for checking out the Mafia Minute. We are presented by CSGAP Fantasy Football. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, and on YouTube or on social media at CSGAPFF, and on the World Wide Web at MafiaMinute.com. Very simple and easy to remember, just like the flaps, FLAPS. Follow, like, and please subscribe. If you had fun, make sure you hit the thumb. Jamie G, I'd like to say that you're feeling no pain today, but you sound like you might have been yelling at the television a little bit yesterday or something. How you doing after that victory, man?
It was worth it. Oh my God. Playoff-like game. It had that feel to it. What an incredible afternoon. Just for any sports fan to be able to watch that game was awesome. As a Bills fan, it was just some kind of sweet. Couldn't have wrote it any better myself. Really enjoyed the Week 11 victory there, and great way to head in the bye for the home stretch, which is a difficult stretch in our schedule. So feeling good, man. Going to enjoy this one all week long.
Yeah, I think the absolute perfect game to go into the bye with. So maybe the schedule makers did do you at least one favor. After all, let's get into a little Bills on Parade, the latest Buffalo Bills news and whatnot. And we'll start with maybe a little bit of sour grapes from the Chiefs side of things. Apparently, Taylor Swift did not show up, and the scuttlebutt wasn't necessarily she couldn't make it, but just last time she went to a Bills game, didn't feel exactly welcome. Nobody was mean or anything. Just I don't know. It just wasn't quite her thing. She didn't like the reception that they got there. So again, I think it's the Chiefs being a little bit petty, but it doesn't surprise you. And sometimes things work both ways. Kansas City insider Darren Smith thinks that the Bills made a deliberate decision to not play God Bless America. Or they actually played God Bless America instead of the national anthem, so the Chiefs couldn't do their thing at the end where they yell "and the home of the Chiefs." So I don't believe if this has been confirmed or denied by the Bills. But what do you think, Jamie G? If they did that, is that too petty or is that fair game?
It's I hope they did. In fact, I'm going to believe they did until otherwise. And I'll tell you what, Taylor Swift, you can't party with Buffalo. That's your problem. You know who didn't have a bad time at that playoff game? Jason Kelsey. He loved every minute of it. So, you're shame on you for having a poor time there. And if you ask anybody in all seriousness, you ask any one of the CBS guests that were there in the house all day broadcasting, they all had glowing remarks. JJ Watt, saw him literally say, man, what an incredible host, what an incredible vibe. We loved it, would come back anytime. He was shotgunning beers with fans, jumping through tables. It was awesome. And it's so cool for Bills Mafia and for the Buffalo Bills and really the entire region of Buffalo to be able to get that type of exposure and kind of set the record straight that that's a great place. It's a great football town, and they know how to party. They know how to host a game, and it was awesome for the Bills to show up the way they did and win that game.
Yeah, and shout out to all of the NFL, the Inside the NFL Today, whatever they call themselves there in the pregame show. They did look they have a good time, and they went for the table dogs, and it looked like they did them pretty legit. They didn't have any real padding on underneath. They were going through in their suits and everything. It looked like they got a little bit down on that. Maybe they had a little bit of a buzz going during the broadcast. Nobody knows for sure, but I did enjoy it one way or the other. So good for them for embracing the situation. It's honestly hard not to have fun at a tailgate like that, unless of course you remember to wear your Tom Brady jersey, and that's on you. And finally, another guy who wore something very interesting. Our guy Mac Hollins walked into the game wearing what could basically describe as like a construction worker type of deal. He had like a hard hat, he had a vest on with no shirt, no shoes, obviously, because that's how the man does it. He's also said he does all this random stuff. He's got TikToks about how to like fly flush your water heater. He avoids elevators, and he wants to appear on the show alone, where you go in the woods and live by yourself for 100 days. I mean, this is kind of wild. I know, Jamie G, that Josh Allen is your guy, and if you had a chance to hang out with any current Buffalo Bill, it would be Josh Allen. But if Josh Allen's off the table, Matt Collins has got to be creeping up kind of close to the top of the list of the guys you'd like to at least hang out with for a day, right? At least be interesting.
Of current players, yeah,
Yeah.
he's certainly on the list, man. I think he's an awesome dude. I love his TikToks. Love what he brings to the locker room. Love just the genuineness of him and his individualism. It's pretty cool, man. He's a character, and what a great fit.
Yeah, I loved him when he was an Eagle as well. So he gets to be a universal guy of ours. Let's get into the game review, and we'll start at the top with the injury report. And thankfully, not a lot of new stuff coming out of the game. You did have a few players who missed the matchup here in Week 11. Spencer Brown, Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid, Kira Lam, Will Clapp, and you still have Matt Milano kind of hanging out in the fringes here, has been designated to return from IR, but we don't have a solid date yet. We've got almost 2 weeks here before the next time the Bills take the field, so I don't think we need to do too much analysis here. Time will take care of a lot of it for us. Jamie G, do you have concerns that any of these players will not be available when we come back for the bye? And I think Cooper's probably, or excuse me, I think Kincaid is probably the one that worries me the most, him and Coleman. Any of these guys you're worried still won't be out there in Week 13?
Coleman and Kincaid for sure. One thing that was very scary, but it hopefully we dodged it. We haven't heard anything. Was Deion Dawkins went down right before the 3rd and 2, but came back, got taped up, came right back on that 4th and 2 play, the critical play where Josh Allen ran for the game sealing touchdown. But we saw that the previous week with Spencer Brown going out with an ankle, coming back in. Hopefully there's enough time there between the bye weeks that we have him coming out of the bye. But outside of that, I think Coleman's injury is more serious than what they let on. We'll see if he starts practicing and starts coming back, and hopefully Kincaid, it was precautionary holding him out and getting him right for down the stretch here after the bye, because we're going to need him.
Yeah, you just can't have multiple wide receivers out there playing with Cass, or if you do, you're going to at least have to come up with a really cool nickname for it. So just something to maybe keep in the back of your mind. And I'd like you to move your final score prediction to the forefront of your mind, because we need to review that bad boy. No surprise, you were taking the Bills to win. You had them winning a close one, 28-24. Not too shabby, man. The final score was 30-21. Maybe you could have sweated it out a little bit. They could have got a field goal to get to the 24, but then you had to sweat the onside kick. So perhaps it was better this way. It was probably stressful enough regardless, but not too bad, man. 30-21. You a little bit doubled up on the margin of victory overall, but pretty close. Again, you're very close on the Bills score, the 28 and the 30. So you can give yourself a little handshake or a pat on the back there. Good job, dude. You get your cookie.
Yeah, I'm a little round of applause. And, I was hesitant to go to 30 mils because no team in basically 2 years has put up 30 points on the Chiefs until the Buffalo Bills. So I'm glad I was wrong on that one. But yeah, pretty close here. But mostly I'm just glad that we got the outcome.
Yeah, close enough. You can still have a cigar. What the hell? We're feeling generous going into the bye week. Continuing with the game review, I'm going to need you to break out your Sharpie. Maybe it's the green one, maybe it's a red one. Not quite sure, because it's time to you to grade your keys. Jamie G's keys. You know my keys. These were your keys to victory for the Buffalo Bills in Week 11. Why don't you go through them and tell us how they did?
Absolutely, man. The first key was we could not get Kelsey. We could not let Travis Kelsey have the day. We've been hurt by him so many times in our matchups over the years. And Mills, I am proud to say this is a pass with flying colors, a super pass, 100%. You get to skip a grade. Like, that's how good this was. He finished the day with 2 receptions, 8 yards, 2 targets. Well, 3 targets if you count that last interception at the end. Shout out TB, what an interception that was. But by far the worst game he's had against the Bills. He just didn't make an impact at all. Now, Noah Gray, the other tight end, he did have an impact. He had 2 touchdowns, but all 3 of Kansas City tight ends combined for only 42 yards and 7 catches. So we've seen Kelsey literally do that in a half. So I'm pretty pleased with that one. Key number 2. We could not let Kareem Hunt get going. And this is also a pass, man. He had one kind of big play of 15 yards or more. I think it was 17 or 19 yards. But outside of that, he had 14 carries for 60 yards. He did convert a couple of first downs, but he wasn't really targeted in the passing game at all. And he couldn't punch it in the end zone when they got down there in the red zone. So pretty proud of that. I think the Bills did well shutting down the rushing game overall. As a team, Kansas City had 17 carries for 78 yards, no touchdowns. One running back that they absolutely stifled was Patrick Mahomes, which was great to see. Key number 3, don't let the Kansas City offense get in rhythm. That was a big one for us. We needed to force a turnover, at least one. This is a pass, Mills. Kansas City never scored on consecutive drives. The Bills forced 2 turnovers, one on the first pass of Patrick Mahomes. That's incredible. A guy could get used to this, man. 2 weeks in a row, the first drop back of the opposing quarterback ends in an interception. That's pretty awesome. So definitely a pass there. We held Kansas City to 50% on third down. They were just 5 of 10. Won the time of possession battle, which is something no one's been able to do virtually the entire season. And we won it by a big margin here, Mills. 34 minutes to the Bills, 25 minutes to the Queef. So awesome job of the Bills there. That's definitely a pass. Let's see if we can get a clean sweep here. I had one more key on Jamie G's keys, and that was converting the red zone. And Mills, I am proud to say this is also a pass. We did end up kicking one field goal from the Kansas City 15 at the very end of the first half. I'm going to give them a pass on that one. They didn't have enough time, and they were just trying to get some points before the half because they were getting the ball at the half. But when they got down there, they scored. We saw power runs out of James Cook. They didn't have the best day running the football, but when they got down there, it mattered, and they had success with it. We also saw a great touchdown pass to Curtis Samuel, and then of course the legendary. I think they'll be playing that one for the rest of Josh Allen's career. 26-yard scramble for a touchdown there on 4th and 2, just unbelievable. So clean sweep here. We get all 4 of them as passes.
Nice little switch up from last week when you managed to get the victory, but necessarily didn't do that well on the keys. So they kind of found a way despite of it. And this week, it seemed like you were on to something with those. And you also had a set of predictions for us because you like coming in hot, but you want to build up to it. So we do it Buffalo Wing style. You have 3 predictions, a mild prediction, a medium prediction, and a hot guy. JBG, break down how those did in week 11.
We got our mild here, and maybe this one comes with a little bit of controversy, but let's talk about it. The mild was the Bills Mafia. It was loud. It was insane. You guys, oh my God, round of applause. Cheers to you. I'm just going to take a drink for you guys. That was unbelievable what you did. The first one here, the mild, was Bills Mafia is going to force a delay of game or a false start. Well, there was one delay of game by Kansas City when they tried to draw the Bills offsides, and then they took the delay of game to give their punter 5 more yards to work with. We went through the entire play-by-play, and that was really the only instance of a false start or delay of game by Kansas City that was called. We know how the refs are. They can't even call a face mask nowadays. Anywho, if you want to call it a pass, you can. I just wanted you to know we did our best to find one. We didn't really get one. I'm gonna call it just an even Steven here, Mills. It's not a pass. It's not a fail. It's just an even Steven here. Our medium, however, this baby, different story. Bills will score 27 plus points. Pass 30 is bigger than 27. Not only did we score 30 for the first time in 2 seasons on that Chiefs defense, we did it without our starting our starting right tackle and 2 key playmakers on the offensive side of the football, and didn't really have a lot of success running the football. So pretty awesome stat there. The hot, Mills. We're coming in extra spicy with this one. We said Buffalo will force at least 1 turnover. The Bills did it. For the 11th game in a row, they got 2 turnovers, not 1, 2. So they still won the turnover differential here. 11 games in a row, dude. Pretty impressive stuff for them. I think it's a big reason why they're 9-2 and why that defense has been playing as well as it has. So 2 out of 3. We didn't really fail on the first one, but it's not really a win. So we'll say 2 out of 3 here, but that ain't bad.
All right, getting your meatloaf on here. It's a little bit of an interesting combination, buffalo wings and meatloaf. But again, it's the bye week, so I will allow it. You kind of broke down all that for us. Is there anything else in particular about the game itself that you would like to touch on?
I thought the Bills' defensive line played outstanding. I think this was Ed Oliver's best game of the season. We're going to really need that type of production out of him down the stretch here. I thought he was incredibly disruptive. And, really the strength of the Chiefs' defense here is the interior three. We know they're weak at the tackle positions, and you saw Von Miller get the sack. You saw AJ Epinesa provide the pressure. You saw Gregory Rousseau have his way, but really it was the interior that really impressed me here. And I just thought that was incredible. And then outside of that, defensively, I thought they had a Bobby Babish and Sean McDermott had a really good scheme in place here and a game plan. The way they kept Patrick Mahomes in the pocket. Terrell Bernard was the perfect spy for this, kept him in the pocket. And as soon as he couldn't go up and tried to go out, he was there. Really a good way to play him because if you let Mahomes kill you with his feet, he will. I thought the Bills had a plan for that, and they executed it perfectly. On the offensive side of the ball, I just want to give a shout out to the right tackle filling in for Spencer Brown, Ryan Vandermark. I thought he played lights out, man. I mean, he was going up against Karlaftis and some of the really good, pass rushers that Kansas City has. Kansas City's defense, I think, is top three in the league. I think you can make a case that it might be the best defense in the league. They're really good. And he protected all day long. I really think he was outstanding. And then also Cyborg, man, our second year right guard. A lot of the game he was matched up one on one with Chris Jones. Chris Jones was disruptive. He was very good in the run game, but he didn't kill us and win the game with being as disruptive in the passing side of the house. So I want to give a shout out to the offensive line. We did not run the football to our standard at all. We manufactured some yards out of screens and quick passes and using Josh Allen more, but we got to be able to run the football more and not rely on the long plays. And we got to win on first and second down. I think that was one area that we really struggled was we constantly found ourselves in 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 9. And for what it's worth, the pass protection held up, and we were able to convert those and do enough to win the game. But I'd like to win more on first and second down and not make it so hard on 3rd down. But credit to Kansas City, they're an outstanding defense. But yeah, all in all, I thought the Bills defensively and offensively had some really serious high notes here that we'll take on and build off of throughout the bye week and then coming down the stretch of the season.
Well, that brings us to the award tour here, and I am almost positive I know what you're going with here, Jamie G. But we're going to need your Mafia moment, your favorite moment from the Week 11 victory. Like I said, I think you probably already teased what it is, but maybe you'll surprise us. So give us the Mafia moment from Week 11.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be the Tyler Rapp interception or maybe the Terrell Bernard interception, right? Now, sorry guys, you are great, you're phenomenal, I love you. Even James Cook, the 2 touchdown performance, nope, can't do it. It has got to be the Josh Allen 4th and 2 scramble here. It just was. I still can't. I've probably watched that play 1,000 times, and I'm gonna watch it probably another 20,000 times before the Bills play again. It was awesome, dude. Game on the line, 4th and 2. They knew they needed that, man. I'm so proud of them for going for it there, dialing up their best play. You talk to some of the Chiefs defenders, they say they knew it was coming. Bitch, you didn't stop it. I mean, Josh Allen ran through 7 guys. I mean, it was unbelievable play, and it built peaks, man. It was like, oh my God, I think he's going to get the first down. Then, oh my God, I think he's going to get, oh my God, I think he's going to score. And it just unbelievable moment. I think they'll be playing that, when he retires and when he gets into the Hall of Fame, because I think he deserves that. And he will once we win a Super Bowl. But dude, unbelievable play, man. Just, you want to talk about a money play. There's not a team in the league that doesn't wish they had that guy suiting up behind them. So I love him. I just love him so much, man. And yeah, he's my Mafia moment.
It was so good, even Patrick Mahomes enjoyed it. So, what are you going to do? That says about all you need to say. And I wonder if you're going to go the same way with your Mafia MVP. Are you going to be handing it to Josh Allen? Can you find another player who is deserving this week? Who gets the MVP for Week 11?
I think there's probably some players that are deserving, but I got to give it to Josh Allen here, Mills. And here's why. He put this team on his back in this game. We didn't have the weapons. We didn't have the Diggs, the Davis. We didn't even have the Coleman or the Kincaid. We were missing our starting right tackle. We couldn't run the football. He had to pass the ball 40 times. And he was money all day. And you really see the maturation in his game, man. Like some of the blitzes and stuff and the designed pressures that Spagnuolo uses has really confused him in the past, like it does with every quarterback they play. You could see this year, this game, there was something different where he knew what was coming. He got in and out of plays. He made one bad play when they went for it on fourth down, and he threw the interception where he thought Knox was going to be somewhere else. That's it. He had one bad play all game. So I really he was outstanding, man, and he's the reason why we won that game. It's a team sport, no doubt about it. But the dude shows up, man, in big time moments against big time teams, and that was just another example.
Well, that's why he's your big guy, and you love him
I love him so much,
very
man.
much. Well, speaking of big time, we keep trying to break into the big time with our Bills bet. Each week, each game, we make one wager on the Buffalo Bills game each and one tripod, which is a three-leg single game parlay. Unfortunately, last week, no green for us. I went with the enemy. I said Travis Kelce, 70 plus receiving yards. It's pretty much the baseline of what he's done against the Bills. I'm never really happy to lose money, but I don't mind taking the L on that one. Unfortunately, Jamie G, you also took the L on James Cook over 56.5 rushing yards. That was minus 115. Right idea. If you would have had the James Cook 2+ anytime touchdown, you would have made some money. Maybe not lots and lots of money, but definitely a little bit to help you get started on that holiday shopping. And then on our tripod, we only hit one of the three legs. We hit the one right away. Patrick Mahomes over 0.5 interceptions. That baby was easily, but unfortunately, we had Josh Allen 2+ passing touchdowns, only had the one, and we had Dawson Knox anytime touchdown scorer. So really, what we were missing was just a Josh Allen touchdown pass to Dawson Knox. We would have won the tripod, so that would have been nice. But we're still up on the season overall, about 519 Bills bucks. So we're still in the green. Stick with us trying to get that number up. And we were also trying to help you out if you were playing over on Draftkings in the showdown contest. Not going to spend a lot of time on it, but we did say best caption option was Josh Allen. That was right, but unfortunately, if you want to get cute and play Travis Kelce a captain, that did not work. We liked Mac Hollins as kind of the high-end value play. Dawson Knox a little bit further down. Dawson Knox was okay, but really Curtis Samuel, we've been waiting for it. He was the guy that you wanted in there at a lower cost and at lower ownership, so good one if you played him. And again, we like Travis Kelce on the other side, along with Kareem Hunt. Hunt wound up being a bit better of a play than Kelce, but neither were really worth it. The guy you actually wanted was Noah Gray. If you took a flyer on a real cheap Mecole Hardman, that worked out all right. Xavier Worthy was decent for you, but Noah Gray, the Chiefs' backup tight end, was surprisingly the guy you had to have here. Didn't have any of him in our favorite stacks or anything like that. We were mostly playing Josh with Khalil Shakir and then either getting Dawson Knox or maybe Mac Hollins in there, throwing in Kelce or Hunt on the other side. That didn't really work. You probably really wanted Josh Allen, James Cook, Shakir, Curtis Samuel, Xavier Worthy, and then throw in your the other guy that gets you to the optimal there. So not bad. Had a couple of good ideas, but we didn't call the Curtis Samuel game or the Noah Gray game, and those were the two big ones. And speaking of big ones, we have only one thing left to do before we get out of here, but it's a big, mighty, important one, and that is our Mafia Mannequin. If you've ever seen the movie Major League, we're kind of doing a reverse of what they do in that movie. And there, they have a clothed mannequin. Every time they win a game, they take something off. Here, we started out with an almost naked mannequin. Every time the Bills win, we put something on. We're giving him something. So he started out in Tailgate Village, basically naked except for his Buffalo Bills boxer shorts. Since then, he's managed to get some ball and Josh Allen money socks here. He's got a chicken wing head. He's got some aviator shade. He's got Ryan Fitzmagic's beard. He's got a diamond necklace. He's got some Zubaz Labatt cans he's sipping on, and he's even got a Zubaz cape like a superhero, and every superhero needs a sidekick, so he's got his own ocelot Babu. A lot going on here, Jamie G. We're headed into the bye week. What do you think? Are we adding something to the mannequin? We doing an accessory? What does he get for this big victory over the Chiefs?
If I learned one thing from that tailgate last weekend, he needs a table, Mills. He needs a table for the beers that he's going to drink. That'll allow us to let him maybe cook some food down the road, do shots, all the things necessary to have a successful tailgate. It's getting cold. We'll get some more clothes on him as we wind down the stretch here. But I think we're going to go ahead and give him the table. And then, maybe you can also dive through it at some point too.
Yeah, we'll maybe go to Costco and see if we get a 2-pack or a 3-pack. That way he has one for using and then one for fun, the diving through fun. So I don't know if you can really put too much stuff on him after you do that, but it looks like he is set up well as we head into these winter months. You might even see some of that white stuff start coming down from the sky pretty soon here. And that does it for the Mafia Minute. We are also going to be on a bye after this one for the week, so we will be back with the Week 13 preview. You got the 49ers at home coming off the bye. They're going to be coming from Detroit, I believe, so huge stretch for them. Huge game for the Bills. Thanks again for checking out the Mafia Minute. We really appreciate it. We are presented by CSGAP Fantasy Football. Once again, find us wherever you get your pods and on YouTube, on social media at CSGAPFF, on the web at MafiaMinute.com. Very easy to remember, just like those flaps. Oh, so crucial to our success. Follow, like, and please subscribe. If you had fun, make sure you hit the thumb. I'm Magnum Mills. He's Jamie G. And his final job is to get you ready to go without the Buffalo Bills for almost 2 full weeks. Jamie G, get everyone through the dark days of the bye week.
And no dark days here, man. This is coming in. It's shining light and sunshine for us. We just beat the Chiefs at home in front of Bills Mafia on prime time, in front of the world, man. It was an outstanding game. We loved every minute of it. Enjoy this one. Be safe. Be healthy. That's just not only to Bills Mafia. That's to the Bills players themselves. Rest up and get ready. We got a hell of a stretch coming after this thing as we make the playoff push, man. I can't wait. We'll be here to help. We'll be here with you each and every step down the road, man. Enjoy it. Go Bills. We'll see you guys on the flip.